Hey guys, we're back here for another best of three with Izzet Wizards for Historic. Getting ready for the upcoming qualifier weekend. So I made a couple changes to the deck, partially due to just how bad the matchup is against Enchantress. So I ended up shaving down to 3 copies of Fading Hope, because I do still want the effect, but I think maybe 4 might be a little bit overboard. Same thing with Monstrous Rage, and that kind of opened up some room. So I brought in another copy of Bonecrusher Giant main deck, and so this kind of can act as like a bad shock, but it's there to help beat like 9 lives game 1. Also good against the One Ring or some other potential options out there. And then I did also bring in Spikefield Hazard to replace the basic island. So this might be somewhat questionable, but I think this deck goes fast enough that we really just don't care about having basics. I mean, if they Stone Rain us, it is what it is. You know, it operates on 2 land. So having that extra kind of spell out of a land seems nice. And then I also brought in 1 copy of Play with Fire, just as kind of an extra sort of way to deal damage, deal with some potential creatures, and you know, it's not as great in the mirror, obviously, but it does still can go face and can help kind of here and there. So that's sort of the main change here in the board. Brought in 2 extra copies of Bonecrusher Giant just because the Enchantress match is really, it's pretty rough. And you can kind of try to deal with their permanents, but if they're running 9 lives, Bonecrusher Giant is excellent, and you can just ignore all the other nonsense. The problem comes in if they have Phyrexian Unlife, which some versions certainly do. Some versions run like both copies, so both 9 lives and Phyrexian Unlife. So admittedly, it's not a perfect solution, but against the copies or the decks that are running 9 lives, Bonecrusher Giant is quite good. And then ended up shaving down to 2 copies of Strangle, 2 copies of Spell Pierce, and that sort of, with the Snapcasters, kind of allows us to cover most of the bases. So I think that this will be a decent change, and let's get into a match. Ended up playing a match kind of that I didn't have a chance to video cast here against Thopter Foundry, and it's pretty close. Ended up going to 3 games. Did not win, so we're now down to Diamond Tier 4. But we're working our way back up. Okay, I do love this hand, except we only have 1 mana. Yeah, this is really interesting because it's kind of like you can just mulligan into Oblivion with this deck, since if you don't have a creature, you're kind of stuck. So I am a little bit loath to mulligan this hand, just given that we do have access to creatures and some spells. So I think I'm going to keep it. This is maybe a questionable keep, but I think that has enough going on that we can, if we can get a land, we can get there. We can cast Wizard's Lightning off of 2 creatures, so may not be ideal, but I think that it's good enough to try. And I think we want to get Symmetry Sage going. Okay, so we're up against mono green. We could Wizard's Lightning their halfling down, or get Soul Scar Mage going. I kind of like getting Soul Scar Mage going. Or we could just Reckless charge in for some damage. I kind of like Wizard Lightning, just slowing them down a little bit since we don't have a great draw ourselves. So I don't know if this is correct, but let's go this direction. This way, if we draw a land, we can go like Soulscar Mage plus Reckless Charge. Oh, never mind. This is the infinite combo deck with Zulaport Cutthroat. Okay. So I guess we could go Balmor here also as another consideration, but I think Soulscar Mage is going to be good enough. Let's see, this doesn't give it trample, so if we want to push damage here, yeah, like that. So they can just block, which isn't perfect, but maybe it would have been better to get Balmor going, actually, kind of in hindsight. I think we need Balmor here. I suppose we could get Dreadhorde also. The trample might really matter. I guess with Dreadhorde, like, we can recast potentially Wizard's Lightning, but then we'd have to buff this somehow. I suppose, yeah, if we cast another spell, then we could. I think I just want Balmor. Not entirely sure what kind of pump they might have. Let's see, I think we just block like that. Yeah, unfortunately, we're kind of stuck on mana here. All right, so if we discharge, we drop them to 7, and then that's 3, 4, 5. Not quite enough. I guess we could also just like pump the mage and then leave this back to try to last another turn. Actually, I suppose, yeah, never mind. We should have pumped Soulscar Mage, and then that would have... Oh, that was a mistake. Oh, it's protection from humans. Never mind. So I think we just attack like this, and then try to survive until our next turn. So this way we drop to 1, I think. Oh, never mind. They can kill our guy. With the proliferate. But we can actually kill them on upkeep, so that works. Never mind. They have Shieldred ready, so that doesn't work. Oh well. So here I think we bring in Pithing Needle for their combo. Cut the Bone Crusher Giants. And then I guess we just maybe bring in like a Strangle here, or let's see, Aether Gust. Yeah, I think we just bring in Strangle. I think we just want to set up this turn and then start pushing next turn. So I think we bounce the Halfling. We could bounce the Halfling and set up Dreadlord or Dreadhorde. Or maybe we just, let's see. Yeah, because I think that's enough to still push here. So let's just do that. We'll bounce Halfling. That looks good. And next turn we should be able to do lethal here. Yeah, that's gonna do it. No creatures here, so I think we want a mulligan. Going down to 5 is not my favorite, so I think we keep this, throw back the Flame of Anar. Okay, that was a great draw. So I think here we actually just go... I mean, Dreadhorde is great if we can get Dreadhorde going. I guess we could also go Symmetry Sage plus Reckless Charge. And that's still pushing a lot of damage. So then we're pushing 9, and then next turn we can push another. I think we have enough here actually if we do it this way. Yeah, I think this is enough. Yeah, so like basically there, I think it's definitely was the right move to go for the quick play with the other Symmetry Sage. Dreadhorde would probably have been like a turn too slow if they could start going off and doing nonsense. But yeah, thanks guys for watching. Still very much learning this deck, but I do feel starting to get my sea legs a little bit. And I like the changes here, both to the board and to the main deck. I guess it just depends on how much Enchantress we see, but there has been a fair amount on ladder, so at the moment I like it where it's at. And then let's take a look here at the stats. So currently at 63% win rate. It did take a little bit of a dip since ended up losing a match or two, but currently now at 22 wins and 13 losses. In terms of the actual matchups, just a little bit above average here on the mirror. Some of the tough matches here, Enchantress here has been really tough, 1 and 3. And then some of the others kind of even with, like Thapter Foundry. Yeah. So overall, been pretty happy with the deck, and we will see you here for the next video. So thanks again, guys, for watching. I really do appreciate you. Thank you for being here. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thanks.